Have you ever seen a ghost?
No, I have not seen a ghost, but I had two instances where I saw things that they did or felt them. One, I was 17 years old and I was at my boyfriend's house for Christmas, their big family Christmas, and I knew it was a very old house. I knew it was haunted and people had told a bunch of stories about it, but I just got that weird feeling in it. I didn't ever see anything, but I was over there unwrapping presents and I got like pushed in the back of the head while I was opening stuff, where it like physically made me go forward like that, and I thought it was his little brother throwing like wrapping paper balls at me or something. So I was like, Josh, don't throw anything at me. And he didn't know what I was talking about. And I had my back to the stairwell, which is where they always saw this ghost anyway. And I think it was the ghost of the house, obviously, because it was so forceful and it wasn't like something I could have just thought was something else. In that same house, they always had two dogs, and every time they opened the door to the basement, the dogs would run and bark like crazy at this one corner, like at the cement in the ground of the basement, like something was buried under the cement, but nobody, knew what was going on, why they felt like that was creepy. The other thing that happened really recently, like within the last 2 years, I worked at a store that was really old, in a historical home, and the owners talked about how things were always happening or getting moved overnight, or ghosts don't like mirrors, so anytime they would put mirrors up, they would come in and they'd all be shattered and laying on the ground, stuff like that. And I was kind of disappointed that nothing ever happened when I was at work, even though I probably would have lost it if it did. But I said out loud in the store, well, I never got to see anything happen. And like the second that left my mouth, this little condiment set that was sterling silver was on this table, and the lid of one of the condiments just flipped up like a coin, just flipped up into the mirror that was behind it and flipped back down in the floor. But I saw like the whole thing. It just took flight off the table and hit the mirror and landed right in front of me. And it was kind of, I was glad a mirror or something crazy wasn't getting thrown at me, but it made me giggle because I was like, yes, okay, well, there's my little token of spook.
Do you have any ghost stories?
I do have one. When I lived in my first house, when I had a child that was about 2 years old, she started talking to an imaginary friend all the time, which kind of creeped me out. And she would like get a play phone and talk on the phone to this imaginary friend and everything. And so I didn't pay too much attention to it until I started feeling like somebody was there in the house. And I would be at the kitchen sink washing dishes, and I would feel like somebody was coming up behind me. And in my mind, it felt like an old woman. And so every now and then, I would just feel like this old woman was there watching me do my housework and everything. And then one night we had a babysitter come and keep my child, and she had laid down with her in her room, and the girl that was babysitting never told me what she saw or anything, but she was scared to death when we got home and left, wouldn't talk about it, and left and never came back to my house again. And so not long after that, I started feeling that this presence was more there too, so a stronger feeling. And so finally I just said to this old lady that's what I thought it was, an old lady. I was like, we're happy in this house. We don't need you here any longer. You can go on to wherever you need to go and leave our family alone. And I never felt anything after that.
We hate ghosts.